Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, Miss. Uh,
Good
first of
morning.
first of all, thank you so much for your time and for agreeing to be interviewed today.
Mhm.
It's such an honor to interview you. My name is Eka Septiviana, and I am a student of the English Education Study Program at Universitas Jambi. I am currently conducting an interview for my assignment in English for work, especially about profession related to English, such as English teachers. Today, I would like to ask you some question about your experience as an English teacher, especially working abroad in Kyrgyzstan. Right, Miss?
Yes, all right.
I hope this interview will give valuable insights for me and my classmates. Before we start, may I know your full name, Miss?
All right. So I'm gonna give you short introductions. My name is Melanie. I think I need to change. Do I need to change my name here? Like this one is
Yes.
okay. Okay. Wait a second. Let me give me a moment. Melanie Zohra. All right.
All
So
right.
So my name is Melanie Zohra. My student used to call me Miss May or Miss Zohra. And then I'm from West Sumatra. Yes, I am originally Minangnes. So it's been 3 years for me to be here in Kyrgyzstan.
Uh, all right. If you don't mind, I would like to start the interview.
Mhm.
First question. Could you please tell me about your job as an English teacher?
Mm, as an English teacher, before I came here, I was an English tutor in during COVID-19. So as you know, like everyone starting to learn online, and then I got an opportunity to work in English Madani, the base in Jember or I forgot, like Kampung Inggris di Jawa. I forgot like the place exactly. So I've been teaching online for about, I could say, 4 years. Even when I came to Kyrgyzstan, I still teach online, and then I decided to stop and focusing on like my work in Kyrgyzstan. So I came here 2023 till now.
Mhm.
So yes, so I don't really
Uh,
have a lot of teaching experience actually, but teaching online in Indonesia and in Kyrgyzstan. That's it.
all right. And right, next question. Why did you choose to become an English teacher?
Mm, why did I choose to be a English teacher? Well, I have never thought that I will be end up as an English teacher, honestly. First, because I took English education major, and that's the main reason actually. But I could say English. I love English. English helped me to express myself. Uh-huh.
Question. Uh, Before you start working as English teacher in Kyrgyzstan, had you ever been teaching English in Indonesia?
Yes, at school when as a student of English education, in the seventh semester we need to do like internship.
PPL.
Yes,
Oh, in
PPL. Like
Jakarta.
that's the only experience I have to teach in a school in Indonesia. After I graduate, I started to teach online. So that's the things. I mean, like only 6 months or a semester. It was 2017, and then I graduate and then teaching online.
Mm-mm. And the next question, uh, what differences do you feel between teaching in Indonesia and Kyrgyzstan?
The difference is in the school itself. First thing first is the curriculum, all right? The curriculum, and then the language. The first language that we speak with the students are totally different. So they don't speak Indonesia, definitely bahasa. Like I don't speak their language, so the difference is like how to say language shock. I could say. And
Mm.
then, but in general, as a student, as a teenager in Indonesia, teenager in high school in Kyrgyzstan are quite actually the same. It's not that much different, just the language.
Mm, the next question: what challenges did you face when you first start working abroad?
Culture shock, definitely. And then lack of preparations. I mean, when I apply for Kyrgyzstan, first thing I actually don't know where Kyrgyzstan is. I mean, it is
Mm-mm.
not familiar for as Indonesian to hear Kyrgyzstan. Like maybe Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan is quite a big country, but Kyrgyzstan is not that much said in Indonesia. So the first things, your question is challenging, right?
Yes.
It was challenging.
Yes.
First thing first, of course, the language barrier.
Mm-mm.
Due to the fact that I work in international school, but it doesn't mean that all the staff they speak in English.
Mm-mm.
For example, the administration staff, and then like accountant staff, and then the security or the cleaning lady, like they don't speak in English. So when I need something, I really have to, how to say, use my body language. And if we stuck, we use Google Translate. And the school
Oh.
environment, when I talk in a school environment, yes, the language. And also the students, when the students are like seventh grade students, they were coming from different schools. Some of them are international schools, some of them are public school. In public school, they don't have English subject. So when they come to that school as kelas 1 SMP, like seventh grade students, some of them I understand what I say. Like most of them they don't really. So and they are in the same class. So it's such a challenge for me as a teacher. How can I like, communicate with someone who knows zero English? That's it.
All right. The next question: what skill are important to become a good teacher, a good English teacher?
Mm, a good English teacher. That's such a how to say. I think we will never have a good. Yes, good, but I'll say sorry. I mean perfect. Yeah. What skill? Of course, you just need to know the teaching methodology, and aside from that, you also need to have such an intuitions as a teacher, like empathy, sympathy, and then care to the students, and knows what the students need. Not only like you're good in English or you are no you knows all the methodology and so on. No, it's not enough. You also need to have that empathy in you as a teacher, especially as an English teacher.
Oh, all right. The next question: what skill do you think is the most challenging for students, like speaking, listening, writing, or reading?
Productive skill like speaking and writing.
All right. Okay. The next question. What difficulties do you personally face when using English, especially in an international environment?
Hmm. Let's talk it more specific when it comes to teaching in a class. Seven grade students, as I mentioned before, they barely knows English, like very zero English. So the difficulties is like we don't speak the same language. If it's in Indonesia, if we stop, we can just switch the language into Bahasa. But in here, I don't speak Kyrgyz, I don't speak Russian, I don't even understand. They also don't speak Bahasa. They don't know what Bahasa is. So the only language that we use in that class is English. They don't understand at all. So the challenge is like how do I make this class still, how to say, um, get the result or the target language in a lesson. So sometimes I ask a student who understand English to help that friend to translate what I said, and it takes time. For example, the lesson should be 40 minutes, and 40 minutes the target is 1, 2, 3, for example. But in this situation, for 40 minutes, sorry, 40 minutes, but the target is maybe only one that can we achieve. So you will be like become slower because of this. You need someone to translate and these kind of things.
Mm. All right. Okay. The next question. Have you experienced any cultural differences in communication with your students or colleges? How
Hmm.
did you handle them?
In communication, since we use English, sometimes they use Kyrgyz and Russian, and their structure is not like subject, verb, object. Not like in even in Bahasa we use subject, verb, object, right? Like they switch them, right? Sometimes they also
Mm-mm.
do that in English. But I don't think it's like a challenge for me also because even they mix the position, I still understand. They mix the order of the sentence, I still understand. And then by the by that way I know that these students need help, this student needs to be how to say corrected in this way, the word order and something like. So that's the challenge I face when it comes to communications and the intonation also. Maybe you have heard like Russian people, they're Kyrgyz but they speak Russian in this because I'm living in
Yeah.
Bishkek, or we can say in Jakarta, in the city center.
Yeah.
So most of them speak in Russian, and Russian intonation is like orang marah-marah, like anger people. Sometimes I misunderstood,
Ah.
like are they is this person angry to me? But the way they speak is like, like with the high intonation. But they just that's the way they speak normally. Yeah.
Okay. The next question is, what teaching methods do you usually use in your classroom?
It varied actually because it depends on the students. It depends on the language. Sorry, lesson objective. But most probably when it comes to grammar, I love to use GTM, grammar translation method. No, sorry, grammar discovery method. So instead of me telling the grammar structure, I give them a bunch of example one, two, three, like maybe like 20 example, and they need to do it in group work or pay work. And they need to find out the formula by themselves. They need to find out the function by themselves, not me explaining that. That's I usually use when it comes to grammar. But when it comes to communication skill, like speaking or reading or listening, I love to do task-based learning. So I assign them a project, and then they need to make a project and present it.
All
This
right.
kind of, yeah.
The next question is, how important are a grammar, vocabulary, and a pronunciation in learning English?
Everything is important, definitely, right? When you learn a language, not even in English, when you learn a language, definitely vocabulary is the base. Like, how can you speak when you don't know the word, right? But how important is in teaching English in the I could say as a teacher's perspective or my perspective, I don't really count on them. I mean, the first thing, especially for lower grade students, I want them to speak first, like courage to speak. I don't really. I sometimes I mention like, okay, it's okay if you make a grammar mistake, and it doesn't matter for me. All right. So, but the thing is, you need to try. You need to speak. You need to try to think. Like you need to have the input, the vocabulary, and then you need to produce the word. That's the thing. But when it comes to grade 10, grade 11, of course, I encourage them to say, like, to really pay attention to grammar, vocabulary, and accuracy, the same. So it depends, actually, depends on the students. Which students do you teach? If you push seventh grade student to focus on the grammar, like, it will be frustrated. Not only for them, for the teacher also. Like, so lower your
Yes.
expectation.
All right. The next question is, how do you make your students' interest in learning English?
Since this is in Kyrgyzstan and I have a culture shock, and the thing is, I always add like hints of humor in my lessons, sometimes not always, or create more fun activity, games, gamifications in the lessons. That's it.
Hmm.
Gamifications for lower grade students. For higher grade students, I love to teach them how to say like a research, how to do research as a university student like you, like how to do research, how to find a credible journal. So I used to add this kind of thing in the lesson, so they also learn not only in the field of or around or the environment that should cover by the book, but also something that I add the probably the things that they need to face in the future, like how to be a university student, something like that, and I add them in their lesson, like in academic writing, in project based learning that I mentioned before. How do they make a real project, like not because of this is the English task, they need to do it now, like really from the base, like how you do, how you find the reference, the credible reference, how you're responsible for what you said, like where is the proof, this kind of thing.
All right. The next question is how do you handle students who have a low motivation in learning English?
Low motivation, oh, I face that a lot, really, I face that a lot. And what I do is usually I ask these students to come to me after the lessons,
Yeah.
because like to be frank, in a lesson like there are 20 students, you cannot just pay attention to one students, like these low motivation students. No, it doesn't work like that. And like you need to pay attention in general as the product, as a focus on the activity, focus on the methodology, and then the result itself, right, as in general. And what I do usually, I ask these students to come to me after the lesson, and then we had a talk, something like that, and then I ask her personally, like personal approach first. That's what I do. And the other way, I use differentiate assessment. So
Mm.
instead of giving them the same assessment or the same task assignment, I divide them into their level. So I divide it to three level: A, B, C level. A is the high achiever, B is intermediate, and the last is low achiever, lower achiever. So if they're usually demotivated students are C students, like
Yeah.
lower achievement. So this one, the lower achievement, I give them very easy tasks that is still achievable for them. So after they do that, they can feel, oh, I can do it. I can finish the task, right? Instead of giving them the in general the same, they don't know how to do it, and then it just give me, okay, see, I cannot do it. Why do I have to do it? It somehow make them feel demotivated even more.
The next
Uh-huh.
question, in your opinion, how important is English for students' a future career?
A future career, and how important? Oh, well, it's very important. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's very important. And how to say, very basic things, like if you know how to teach math, you know how to teach math, but this person knows how to use English, meanwhile this person doesn't know how to use English, they don't speak in English, like he doesn't speak in English. Of course the first person who speak in English and teaching math has more skill that how to say sell him, then of course he get more opportunity, not even in a career, yeah, in academic way also. Like if you want to get more knowledge, of course most of the journals are probably in English, so you can get more information using English, so that's really important.
The next question, uh, what opportunities can English open for someone who wants to work internationally?
That's the opportunity already. I mean, like someone who wants to work internationally, globally, of course they need to use English, not only in English teacher, like like any maybe you have heard someone from Indonesia who works in Dubai, who works in Japan, who works in the New Zealand, especially because I heard that New Zealand needs more teacher. So that's the opportunity. If you don't know English, you cannot go there. You're just gonna stay in Indonesia. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay, the last question. What advice would you give to students who want to improve their English?
Advice, keep practicing is a very basic advice. Keep practicing.
Yep.
And like,
All
right, do
right.
not care about what others people, especially in Indonesia, like I've been through this. So English, like when I was in high school, in university, like you, like and I tried to speak in English in public place with my friends, and we got a comment like, so English. Oh my god, like
Yeah.
that time sometimes
Hey,
I feel like, oh my god, like, okay, then use English. But we that time I think we didn't care. Then we just keep practicing English. Find someone, okay? You need to find someone who
yep.
are willing to learn. So whatever they say, it other people just keep using English, right?
For a
Mm-hmm. For
practice
practice,
speaking. Itu
exactly.
Miss.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Thank
Mm-hmm.
you so much for your time and for sharing your valuable experience and insight. I have
Mm-hmm.
learned a lot from this interview, and it's
Mm-hmm.
really inspiring for me as a future English teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you again for your time, and I wish you a best. I wish you all the best in your career, Miss. Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so
Miss.
much. Thank you for having this
Assalamualaikum.
interview.